And the Dalit Freedom Network hosted a conference in Washington, D.C., targeting U.S. Congress and Senate people. The title was Racism and Caste-Based Discrimination in India. Racism and Caste-Based Discrimination in India, Implications for U.S.-India Relations. Now the purpose, and naturally Kancha Ilaiah was the star speaker at that conference, supplying them with evidence and data about racism in India. And they called for that, one of the purposes, the main purpose of the conference was to call for sanctions, U.S. sanctions against India. So they were lobbying to what would be their equivalent of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha combined, having a conference for those people to convince them that the human rights violations in India have reached such an extent that they need to intervene in the name of human rights, and the first step would be sanctions. Now, he's also co-authored with another well-known Christian evangelist scholar, Arthur Bonner. Okay? Arthur Bonner writes a lot of books on Shudras and Dalits and evangelism and Jesus, what Jesus' message is. He also writes about similar movements they have in Latin America to go after the native people and do all these sort of similar things there. Now, Kancha Ilaiah is very connected with the NGO, foreign funded NGO network. We've already done a debate with John Dayal on that. He's very, so this guy is also very connected, getting foreign funded NGOs organized into these sort of activities. Now, the strange thing is that the hypocrisy I see is that people like Kancha Ilaiah in the United States are very openly, publicly aligned with the Christian right-wing people who call themselves fundamentalist Christians. You know, he comes on television, he comes on various shows, he's moved around a lot to give talks. And it's a very clearly Christian platform on which they are. But in India, he positions himself as a person championing the cause of liberal, left-wing, human rights type of things. So what is Christian right in the United States and is always fighting the liberal left in the United States, the Republicans and Democrats. In India, they join, they combine to attack a common enemy, which is the Hindu substratum and the Hindu architecture and the Hindu foundation. So, in his article, he he characterizes NRIs. So I'm a bad NRI, but there are good NRIs and bad NRIs. So I'll explain to you what he says. So the good NRIs are three kinds, according to his article. He says one is a group of people who are multicultural, and they're okay with blacks and Hispanics. Okay? As if we're not. As if we are not. Okay? What he means is the left-wing people he wants to pander to because they also patronize him. The bad guys are the Hindu NRIs. Now, what is their problem? According to him, his allegation, one of them is that they're importing Hindu culture from India. That's a problem for him. But he should know that white Americans decades ago started importing yoga, Hindu culture. They started importing meditation. They started importing vegetarianism and made it a part of American life, which now is considered very important for health reasons also. The idea of a spiritual ecosystem, the whole geography and sacredness of the earth became very important part of the counterculture in this country, United States, is from India. The sacredness, the feminine as a sacred divine, the divinity in a feminine form is not in the Abrahamic religions. It's brought from India. So what exactly is going on is, there is one group who are importing, recharacterizing, reformulating, digesting into Christianity. But you know, if they were to acknowledge that to people in India, then the evangelism program, the missionary program, the proselytizing program would take a setback, because people will say, why should I convert to you? We already got all these things. I already got these things in my village, my ancestors have these things. Why do I need to convert to Christianity and get these things? You are taking your future the future of Christianity, the liberal Christianity, the advancement of Christianity is based on appropriating and digesting from my culture. Why do I have to convert to you? That's what the average Indian would say. So they don't want to acknowledge that they're appropriating these things. So the second part of the movement are people like Kancha Ilaya, who are going around saying that Hinduism is the source of problems and Christianity is the solution. So what a contradiction, what a hypocrisy. And his job is to be the champion of the victims, so to speak, the people who are sort of victims of Hinduism. He has to go and do the drama and you know, get compensated for that, be made into an important celebrity.
और हमारे देश के लिए अगर सबसे बड़ी एक समाज की एक मन में एक आवश्यकता है तो हमारी सोसाइटी हिस्ट्री कॉन्शियस होनी चाहिए. इतिहास को भुला देने वाली समाज व्यवस्था नहीं होनी चाहिए.